I had somebody stalking me around town, and I do not appreciate it. I wanted to stop, and no one seems to take me seriously when I say that.
Okay, and who is it that's stalking you?
Taylor Swift.
I had read some stuff on the internet, and it made me think that she was uptown. So I was like, I'll just go look uptown and see if she's up there, you know?
In a small town full of kindness, no one could have imagined that one man's celebrity obsession would spiral into a real-life nightmare. For years, he lived with the guilt of a terrible secret, one that would destroy countless innocent lives.
Hey man, what's going on?
How's it going?
Good.
I don't know, I'm trying to get a refund.
Okay, we just got a call that you just went in somebody else's room.
No, I didn't go in anyone's room.
Southeast Nashville, Tennessee is one of the fastest growing areas of the city. But under the cover of the night on April 22, 2018, something dark was pulling into a crowded Waffle House in eastern Antioch. It was just after 3:20 a.m. when a gold Chevy Silverado rolled into the parking lot. Inside the Waffle House, more than 20 people packed into the small diner, laughing and unwinding after a long night. But they had no idea danger was sitting just outside, watching them from the darkened cab of a pickup. For 4 chilling minutes, the driver remained inside, silently watching the building. Then at exactly 3:24 a.m., a guy named Travis Reinking stepped out, half naked, carrying an AR-15 rifle and heading into the most horrifying mission imaginable. But this moment wasn't sudden. It was the result of years of ignored red flags and a mind quietly unraveling in the shadows. Born on February 1, 1989, Travis Reinking grew up in the small quiet town of Tremont, Illinois. His father, Jeffrey Reinking, ran a successful crane rental business. Their home was safe and stable, at least on the surface. Travis was homeschooled for most of his life. He spent only 1 semester in public school before being pulled out without much explanation. Behind the closed doors of the Reinking house, Travis's world grew increasingly isolated. After finishing his study, he joined the family business, working in construction. But by 2014, something deep inside him was changing. He began hearing whispers that weren't there and started seeing things no one else could see. In 2015, Travis attended a Taylor Swift's concert, but what should have been a fun night twisted into a dangerous turning point. From that night onward, Travis became completely obsessed with Taylor Swift. But this wasn't an ordinary celebrity crush. It was delusional, overwhelming, and terrifying. He convinced himself they were in love, not just infatuated. In his mind, they were boyfriend and girlfriend. Travis believed Taylor Swift was sending him secret messages, whispering to him across the silence. He poured his fantasies into letters addressed to her, letters he thought were filled with shared secrets and promises. But while Travis fell deeper into his illusions, the real world was only beginning to realize how badly things were about to spiral. His parents, Jeffrey and Judy, watched in growing fear as their son's mind slipped further from reality. At one point, they even picked up the phone and called the county sheriff. When police officers visited Travis, he told them he and Taylor Swift sent secret messages back and forth. But even after officers saw these troubling signs firsthand, meaningful help never truly came. In his mind, the whole world had become a web of secret signs and silent watchers.
My parents had me taken to a mental institution for looking for Taylor Swift. Because a long time ago, I had read some stuff on the internet, and it made me think that she was uptown. So I was like, I'll just go look uptown and see if she's up there, you know? And I asked my mom to go with me, because I was like, I don't want to be bored just playing this game, you know? So I'll have someone go with me, and they can help me, you know, find this person, you know? And so I asked my mom to go. Next thing I know, we're out front of CVS, and the police are pulling up. This guy comes out from ERS, the police pull up, you know, and I'm being arrested and everything. This is where I live, this is where I reside. No one can come in here. The door is locked. There's nothing saying anyone can come in here. And so, anyway, I come in here, I come into my bathroom, and I notice in my bathroom that the toilet seat is up. I haven't put my toilet seat up. I know for a fact that this toilet seat was down. I know for a fact that the toilet seat was down. I never put my toilet seat up because I don't like it messing up my toilet. And yet this is what's happened. And then before, you know, I have come in here and the door will be cracked like that. You know, it's not all the way shut, it's not all the way open. I always leave it all the way open, or I leave it all the way shut. So somebody has been coming in here. And then, like I said to my dad the other day, there was fingerprints on the sides of my laptop. There's fingerprints on the sides. I never opened the lid that way. Why is somebody coming in my apartment and doing this stuff? You know, this is illegal. Why is somebody getting on my private property like that? Why is someone going to my bathroom? And that's the thing, is I know for a fact that I never lift the toilet seat. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe once in a while, you know, if I've been drinking or something like that, I don't know, you know, maybe I'll lift it up then, you know, just because I don't know why. But I know for a fact, before I left here today, just to go to Starbucks, that was down.
His parents tried to have him hospitalized, but he only stayed in treatment for a short time and refused to take his medications that could have kept his mind from falling apart. In August 2016, Travis packed up and moved to Salida, Colorado, hoping for a fresh start. He found work in the crane industry, thanks to a family friend. He seemed like a normal, friendly guy, but beneath the surface, his delusions only grew stronger. Travis told his new coworkers that he and Taylor Swift were engaged, proudly showing off a $14,000 diamond ring he claimed was for their wedding. But at the same time, he began muttering about Taylor stalking him, hacking into his computers, and sneaking into his apartment.
911 emergency.
Yeah, I need to report something, and every time I go to the sheriff's office, it's closed.
Okay, what do you need to report?
I have somebody stalking me around town, and I do not appreciate it. I want it to stop. And no one seems to take me seriously when I say that.
Okay, and who is it that's stalking you?
Taylor Swift.
Okay, and what is your name?
Travis Reinking. I mean, everywhere I go, like, they're stalking on the internet, they're stalking me, like, in person, everywhere I go. I'm pretty sure, like, the police here are involved in it. And, like, I want it to stop. It's stupid. No one has the right to do that to me.
What exactly are they doing?
They're getting, like, they're doing some kind of, like, I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but somehow they're, like, getting on my Facebook, they're getting on my YouTube, they're getting on my Netflix, and they're changing the videos that I see as they pop up.
Before long, Travis quit his job and became convinced that the police in Colorado were part of the conspiracy too. The owner of the construction company ended up calling his father Travis Reinking, but his parents already knew and nothing much really happened. Travis returned to Illinois, slipping back into his old apartment in Tremont. But the descent only accelerated. 3 months later, he marched into his father's business, wearing nothing but a pink dress and carrying an AR-15 rifle. After threatening an employee, Travis fled the scene. Later that very same day, he turned up at a public pool, still in the pink dress and exposing himself in front of stunned bystanders. Month after month, red flags rose higher and higher, but nothing slowed the inevitable fall. By July 2017, Travis's delusions had taken him somewhere even more dangerous. He traveled all the way to Washington, D.C., determined to storm the White House, claiming to be a sovereign citizen. He was detained by the Secret Service after entering a restricted area. Federal agents quickly contacted his family. In the end, his only punishment was 32 hours of community service. The police confiscated all his guns, but later handed them over to his father Jeffrey, who for unknown reasons returned them to Travis. By the fall of 2017, Travis had drifted into yet another city. He landed in Nashville, Tennessee, chasing a life that no longer made any sense. 3 hours east of Nashville, police received a panicked call from a young mother staying at a roadside motel. She described a man pacing outside her room, shouting about shadowy figures who he believed were stalking him. She said he forced his way into her room, wild-eyed and threatening.
I came out here to my car, and this man down here was running up and down up the top, and then down here screaming at everyone's door, telling them he'll make as much noise as he wants. And I looked at him, I said, I have kids, and they're getting ready for bed. And he was right there in that white truck, literally ran into our hotel and tried to hit me, acting like he was going to put his hands on me.
Where's he at now?
He's down there with the man that owns this place.
Down towards
They're
the
walking
office.
to the office.
237. Hey man, what's going on? Good.
I don't know. I'm trying to get a refund.
Okay. We just got a call that you just went in somebody else's room.
No, I didn't go in anyone's room.
You got your ID on you?
Yeah.
The reason I'm here is we just got a call from, I think it's room 125, that you went into the room without being invited in, basically.
No, I didn't ever go in the room.
Okay. Were you banging on the door or anything like that?
No, I was walking by trying to figure out who's knocking on my window. Someone's knocking on my window outside of the building. They come outside on the railing, right out front of the door. You know, there's no one usually standing right in front of my door.
Okay.
They'll be talking loud at night. They'll knock on the windows and then walk off, and I don't know who it is.
Okay.
And they do this to harass somebody, and it's several nights in a row, and I got sick of it, so I went out. I'm walking up and down the porch, and I'm making noise, you know, because I don't like it. I don't like shit like that. I don't want other people to understand how I feel.
Okay.
You know, when people are just being loud and noisy for no fucking reason, this lady then comes walking up, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. You know, and sticking her nose in the business. Like, hey, if you just got here, I mean, apparently you had nothing to do with it, but now she wants to police people. And it's just like, what are you doing? You know, just leave me alone.
You're saying one thing, she's saying something different, so it's he said, she said at this point. I'd recommend just, you know, if you're going to try to get out of here, find you another place, all right? So, all right, man.
The woman later declined to press charges, and once again, Travis walked away easily. By this stage, his downward spiral was almost complete, and nobody realized just how little time was left. Then came Sunday, April 22nd, 2018, a date burned into the memory of Nashville forever. Around 3:20 a.m., Travis drove his gold Chevy Silverado into the parking lot of a Waffle House in Antioch. The restaurant was busy that night, packed with over 20 customers, most trying to soak up a long night of drinking. Travis sat in his truck for 4 long minutes, staring and plotting. At 3:24 a.m., naked from the waist down and armed with the assault rifle, Travis stepped out of his vehicle and opened fire on 2 people standing outside. The air exploded with gunfire as he stormed through the front doors. Patrons dove under tables. Some scrambled into the bathrooms. Others froze, pretending to be dead, praying to survive. Travis showed no mercy. He stalked across the floor, aiming at the huddled bodies as the terrified cries filled the night. Ultimately, 4 people were killed, but the bloodshed would have been even worse if not for the astounding bravery of 29-year-old James Shaw Jr. When Travis burst in, he initially slipped while heading toward the bathroom. At that split moment, James lunged at him, grabbing the rifle by its red-hot barrel. In the struggle, James managed to wrestle the weapon away and tossed it behind the counter. Losing his jacket during the fight, Travis fled out of the restaurant and disappeared into the nearby woods. The whole thing lasted just 42 seconds, and the police were delayed because they went to the wrong Waffle House. By the time officers finally arrived, the scene was an unspeakable horror. 21-year-old Debony Groves was a senior at Belmont University, a top student, a standout athlete, and a young woman with her whole life ahead of her. Aquila Da Silva was just 23, a budding rapper and video producer with a bright future. Torian Sanderlin, 29, had been working at the Waffle House for about 5 years and was known as a devoted family man. 20 years old Joe Perez is from Texas, worked at an appliance store, and was only at the Waffle House because he had a flat tire. Within minutes, a full-scale manhunt exploded across the city.
According to witnesses, the person of interest in this matter, a Travis Reinking, arrived in his pickup truck. He got out. There were persons outside the restaurant talking. He shot them. He then went inside the restaurant. More shots were fired, and one of the patrons was hit. The police department special response team, officers from a variety of components of the police department, as well as our helicopter, is up now trying to find him.
Travis had run all the way back to his apartment, grabbed a backpack, which included a handgun. Officers warned local residents to lock their doors and remain alert. Fear gripped the community, and the FBI escalated the urgency, adding Travis Reinking to their 10 most wanted list.
We're telling everybody to be very cautious. We don't want to alarm people, but certainly everybody should take precaution.
For 34 tense hours, Travis remained a ghost until police received a crucial tip.
He's in behind the elementary school, headed toward the TVA lines in the woods. From a distance, it looks like this guy. He's got mud all over him.
Officers closed in and arrested Travis without further bloodshed. He was charged with 4 counts of murder and a long list of other serious crimes he had left behind.
Mr. Reinking, you've got 4 new charges. I'm the magistrate with the night court, and we're here to tell you your charges and the amount of your bond. You have 4 charges for criminal homicide. Total bond is $2 million. Do you have any question about your charges or your bond?
No, I don't.
In August 2018, Travis Reinking was deemed incompetent to stand trial. However, a judge later reversed the decision and ruled him fit to face trial. Indicted on 17 charges, Travis entered a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. The trial finally began in early 2022. His defense painted a picture of a lost mind, a man who supposedly had no grasp of reality. But the prosecution painted a far darker picture.
We'll begin with the defense and the prosecution with their opening arguments expected to come down, setting the stage for the rest of the trial. The defense will address the issue of Travis Reinking's sanity or lack of it at the time of the crime. The prosecution will make the point that he knew the difference from right or wrong and that he would not have ran from the scene of the shooting if he didn't know the difference.
Travis Reinking is severely mentally ill. He's schizophrenic. And he's battled this for years. And you're going to hear expert testimony to talk about a 3 to 5 year period leading up to that night. He is completely untethered from reality. And he is driven by his delusion that people are after him. You're going to hear a testimony that Mr. Reinking believed that he could communicate with aliens and was regularly communicating with aliens. That Mr. Reinking believed he could speak directly to God. You're going to hear that Mr. Reinking believed he was commanded by God to go to the Waffle House in defense of himself and other people. That the people at the Waffle House, in his mind, were government agents. That were responsible for all the torment that he was perceiving over those years.
Now, when Travis Reinking showed up to that Waffle House, he chose not to wear any clothing other than that green jacket that carried the 2 additional magazines. The 60 additional rounds. He fired 30 rounds. Travis Reinking made a choice. He made several choices that led to the shooting. Travis Reinking went there to take something that couldn't be given back. He went there to take lives. The evidence will be that this was an act of revenge done out of anger.
During the trial, James Shaw Jr. recounted the harrowing moment he came face to face with Travis.
You see a goldish, tannish pickup truck sitting close by the entrance of the Waffle House?
Yes, it was a Chevy Silverado extended cab.
And did you see anyone inside of that truck?
Yes, I did.
You're kind of looking over to your left. Are you seeing the person that you saw inside the truck in this courtroom?
He's giving me the same look he did that night.
And what was that look?
Looked like he didn't care.
While you're inside the Waffle House, did you hear him saying anything?
He was more so like inside the Waffle House?
Inside.
It might have been some curse words he might have let out. 100% was focused on getting the gun away from him.
And once you got outside the Waffle House, did you hear him say anything to you?
Yes.
And what did he say?
It's like something along the lines of, "This nigger disarm me."
Had you already run out of the restaurant?
Yes, it kind of cuts it off, but I was kind of tight to the building. I'm more so in the grass area.
Okay. And who is this right here?
Joe Perez.
At the trial's end, Travis Reinking was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
State of Tennessee versus Travis J. Reinking. We, the jury, unanimously find Travis J. Reinking for the offense of premeditated first-degree murder. Guilty.
He remains incarcerated today, hopefully receiving the treatment he should have gotten years earlier. Jeffrey Reinking was also arrested for returning the gun to his clearly unstable son, the same gun Travis used in the Waffle House shooting. On March 3, 2023, Jeffrey Reinking was found guilty and sentenced with 18 months in prison for illegally providing his son with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. When serious mental health struggles are brushed aside, the damage spreads far beyond one life, leaving a trail of broken futures that no one can ever put back together. If you're still with us, thank you for watching. Show some love by smashing that like button, and we'll see you in the next one.